All right, today we're going to break down one of the most fundamental and, yeah, controversial pieces of tech on the web, the humble HTTP cookie.
Have you ever had that weird feeling where you land on a website you haven't visited in forever and it just greets you like an old friend? I mean, it knows your name, it's kept all this stuff in your shopping cart, and hey, look at that, it's even suggesting those same shoes you were looking at last week. Nope, that is definitely not magic. That's the work of the cookie. And we're going to get into all of it. The good side, the bad side, and yeah, even the ugly side. So what exactly is a cookie? Well, at its core, it's just a small piece of data a website asks your browser to remember. The best way to think about it, it's like the internet's coat check ticket. The website gives you a ticket, and your browser just holds on to it and shows it back next time you visit. It's a really simple idea that, believe it or not, solves a massive problem. See, the big problem is that the web, by its very nature, has a terrible memory. It's what we call stateless. So that means every single time you click a link or load a new page, the website server has absolutely no idea who you are. It's like having a conversation with someone who forgets you exist every 5 seconds. It's frustrating. Cookies were invented to fix that, to give the web a memory. And this whole idea of a digital memory has a pretty interesting history. It all started back in 1994. A guy named Lou Montulli at Netscape was just trying to solve a basic problem. How do you make an online shopping cart actually work? But then, just 2 years later, a news article blew the lid off this hidden technology. And boom, the privacy debate started. And honestly, that same debate is still going on today. And it's what led to huge regulations like the GDPR in Europe. Okay, so let's start with the good stuff. We're talking about first-party cookies here. And honestly, without these, the web as we know it would pretty much grind to a halt. Just think about it for a second. These are the helpful cookies that keep you logged into your accounts so you're not typing your password every 5 minutes. They're what remember your preferences, like if you set a site to dark mode. And of course, they're what keep those items in your shopping cart while you're still browsing. Without them, the web would be incredibly frustrating. Every single visit to a site would be like the first time. You'd be stuck in this endless, maddening loop of logging in and setting your preferences over and over and over again. But it's not all good news, right? This is where the story gets a lot more complicated. Let's talk about the bad side, third-party trackers. So what's the difference? It's actually pretty simple. Remember that coat check ticket analogy? A first-party cookie is the ticket from the one website you're visiting right now. But a third-party cookie, that's like getting a ticket from a huge advertising company that has a coat check in thousands of different websites, and they use that one ticket to follow you around from site to site. So how does this cross-site tracking actually work? It's kind of snaky but simple. Okay, step 1. You're reading a news site and it has an ad on it. That ad isn't just a picture, it actually comes from an ad company's server, which quietly gives your browser a little tracker cookie. Step 2. Later, you go to a completely different shopping site and it happens to use ads from that same company. And step 3, the ad server sees its cookie again, and just like that, it knows you visited both sites. It's building a profile on you, connecting the dots between your interests. And the scale of this, it's huge. A study from the Wall Street Journal looked at America's top 50 websites and found they installed an average of 64 of these tracking files on a user's computer. 64. That is a lot of companies watching what you do. And that brings us to the ugly part. Because it's not just about tracking for ads. There are some very real security risks here, which led to some pretty big legal fights. You see, because cookies can keep you logged in, they basically act like a key to your online accounts. And that makes them a huge target for attackers. If a hacker can steal your session cookie, they can impersonate you. They can get into your accounts without even needing your password. And they have all sorts of clever ways to do this, like through something called cross-site scripting, or by tricking you into making a request you didn't mean to, which is called cross-site request forgery. So yeah, these privacy and security problems got so big that eventually governments had to step in. They decided they needed to do something to protect people online. And this is why you see those accept all cookies banners everywhere now. It's because of major privacy laws. You've got two main approaches. In Europe, there's the GDPR, which is all about informed consent. It's an opt-in system, meaning a website has to get your explicit yes before it can use any non-essential cookies. Then you have laws like the CCPA in California, which is more of an opt-out model. It gives you the right to tell companies, hey, stop collecting my data or don't sell my data. Okay, so with all this stuff happening behind the scenes, it's really easy to feel kind of powerless, right? But you're not. You can actually take back a lot more control than you might think. First off, the next time you see one of those banners, don't just reflexively click Accept All. Take a second to reject the non-essential ones. Also, dive into your browser's settings. Most modern browsers now let you block third-party trackers automatically. And of course, simple things, like regularly clearing your browser's cookies or using private or incognito modes, can make a really big difference. And that really leaves us with one last big question. The thing is, the third-party cookie is already on its way out. Major browsers are phasing it out. But that doesn't mean tracking is going away. It's just evolving. So the real question for the future is this: who is ultimately responsible for protecting our digital lives? Is it up to us as individuals? Is it the job of the tech companies building the browsers? Or is it something that only laws and regulations can truly solve? It's definitely something to think about.